Okay, so I just wanted to give a bit more context on what this video was about. This is post actually recording it, but essentially I've been helping a tech consultancy with some of their outbound efforts. So they are just getting into the stage where they're wanting to actually get a bit more business for their client base. And they definitely have more of like a tech kind of view of it. A lot of the people involved there are a lot more on the technical side of things and development. A lot of them also have, other experience in other business fields, but I think it's not that they lack it, but they need a little help with the sales side of things and how they're actually going to sell their products, how they're going to prospect and how they're going to enter the markets that they're trying to target. So the previous video that I uploaded, we went over in a bit of a webinar and a meeting with them about how they could refine one of their outbound emails, just with some tips and stuff that I would do if it was me. Again, this is not a advice channel. This is kind of, I just want to document what I do, and I'm very open to feedback, and I'm open to new things. So, that being said, this is me helping this is a video that I made for one of the people that works at the consultancy, which she's being tasked with doing a bit more personalized outbound. So she has some platforms, I believe that they have. I think one of the directors for the consultancy has some connections to a platform that has many startups on it. So we've used things like that, and then as I show in the video, we use some other information that we can gather to really make tailored emails. Now these are emails that I would never send out, massively. You can't. It's not going to apply to everyone, and they're very time consuming as well. But if you size a deal properly, or you really look into the company and look into their potential problems that they could be having, and really put some thought into if we could solve those for them, then these are the kind of emails that you want to be sending out, or this is the kind of outreach that you want to do. You want to show the person, the prospect, that you've actually put some time into time and effort into reaching out to them, and they're not just anyone. There's a reason behind it. So yeah, that being said, hope you enjoy, and let me know what you think down below. So just looking over that real quick, I did actually want to make a point that they have asked me to help them with the email specifically, not with their kind of strategy, their outbound strategy, their kind of techniques with what they're doing. I'm just helping them with the email, assuming that they have taken care of prospecting. Now, in this case, this company isn't really prospecting the way that I would. So this company in this example that you're going to see in this video is actually reaching out to people on a platform. So they're going for startups as almost a niche, without really having a specific idea of the problem that they might be having, or if they can really solve that problem. There's a very wide variety of services and products that this company offers, and it's hard it's almost like going up to someone on the street with a jacket with, you open your jacket and one side has tools and hammers, and one side has fruit, and you're just kind of hoping that they're in the mood for fruit or hammers. And then on top of that, then that raises the question of the quality of your fruit and hammers. Why do you so many different things? So yeah, if I would say more about that, but at the end of the day, they've asked me to help with emails. I'm glad to help with more than that, but you can only do what you're asked to do. So yeah, now that being said, I'll let it go. So jumping right into it, I just went to the About Us page, just read into a bit of what they do, get a bit of a better understanding of what their company does. And luckily, this company, which doesn't happen with everyone, has all their C-suite on their actual website. So the people, I mean, obviously, we want to target the CEO here. And since this is a small company, this is a startup, it's very realistic to get the CEO or the owner into a meeting. It shouldn't be that hard. And it even says some advisors here that they can also be quite useful, for meetings with them, or even better, getting them to get us a meeting with the CEO. So anyway, I looked up Daniel on LinkedIn. As you can see, I found his LinkedIn here. So if I wanted to, I could obviously connect and try and reach out to him through there. I've also gone up and searched Stratify on Apollo, and I found Dan Gold here. So I'm able to get his email, and then from here I'll show you how we use this information, and I'm gonna go through his LinkedIn and some other stuff and see if I can gather some information for us to make a really tailored email. Okay, so I've gone ahead and written up the email. I'll go through it briefly and explain how I kind of got the information. It was nothing too deep. I didn't really have to dig much. It was quite a lot of news about the company and their crowdfunding that they did earlier this year. So I was able to use that. So I'll start off mentioning Zana. I mean, I don't know if this is if that's who, if that's the director that's on um, that's the advisory board mentor, but just for the sake of the email, we'll say it's Zana. I said Zana CC'd, and we'll make sure to CC the person that we mentioned. One of our directors and an advisory board mentor on Connected was telling me a bit about Stratify and its crowdfunding success earlier this year. So it's very similar to the original email we made, but it's a bit more casual. So you have the benefit that you'll be able to reach out to these people more personally, and that will allow you to almost be a bit, as I said, more casual with it. As if you were just talking with Zana and she mentioned the company and mentioned their success with crowdfunding. I said that, and then I said, after looking further into your team, I must say your cumulative financial services experience is truly impressive. So I got all this information from here. I just quickly typed up the company name. I went to the news tab and found this article. So it spoke a bit about their crowdfunding achievements. They did quite well. Talks a little bit about what they do, what the highlights are. Obviously, some investment information, not too relevant to us right now, but so that this is just to kind of explain, as we did in the first email, why we're emailing them, so that they don't their sales defenses don't go up straight away and think that we're just trying to sell them something. And then we go a bit more into, not just why we're reaching out, but what's the actual motive behind it as well. So I say I wanted to reach out personally because we help startups continue their growth and secure funding through expert innovation in machine learning, AI, IoT, and SaaS development. And we recently helped, and I would suggest we give an example of a previous client or someone we've worked with, partnered with, anything that we could use. We've successfully implementing DevOps and CI/CD pipeline. So this is a bit that I took actually from, I think, Sid's email. So I tried to implement a bit more of, you know, what he says our main services are, and then, our core services, and then what our other services are. And as I said, a bit more detail about what those core services are. So again, I don't think we could fit everything that, for example, Sid has put in his email. It's just a bit too much information. And we just want to be a bit more brief. And realistically, we want this email to just generate a meeting. We don't expect to really find out what we could do for them or what they might be needing just over email. Is the form of communication is too brief. We really just want to land a meeting with this person. So I then say we understand the scarcity of time and resources that startups are faced with. So in addition, we have a dedicated team of experts that offer resource augmentation, legal and grant writing application services, acting as an extended support service for enterprises of any size. So this is, again, we're just highlighting um, what we do for them, and the potential problem that they could be having that we might be able to solve for them, and we already have a way to solve it that's ready to go. In the original email here, I add a little bit more. I go further into detail of the exact value that we could be bringing them, but because we don't really know yet what their potential problem could be exactly, we're not going to go into that. So I say, if you're interested, will you be opposed to a short chat later this week to discuss this in further detail? So the plan is just to get a meeting out of this, and once you're in a meeting with them, the conversation flows a bit better, and it'll be easier to get an idea of where we could potentially collaborate with them, and if they're going to end up buying anything from us.